door. And went to, we have, there's the inside stairs, and I went there and I opened up my high security eye, and she opened up there, high security book and eye, and she came up the stairs, and she smiled that smile at me. And I was like, wow. And I looked her over and I said, not a chance. Not a chance. It's out of my league. So I picked up, they went to the movies fine. She used to come back and visit with her friend Kathy, who became my friend, of course. And Kathy went to bed at 9:30. Because she would, once in a while, she'd call and ask me if I wanted to hang out a little bit. She'd come upstairs and we'd sit and we'd drink coffee and we would just talk. We would talk until 2, 3 in the morning, drinking coffee. The coffee made it easier. After a while, if I would look outside and if I saw her car, I would kind of walk around stomping my feet, just so she know that I was up there and hope that she would call. And she did. She called a lot. And I really got to know her. She was one of the deepest, perhaps the deepest person I ever spoke with. And she just understood. She understood herself. She understood me. She understood that she had damage and that I had damage. But somehow, especially over the years, our damaged parts fit together to make a whole. And again, it was the best thing ever. But finally, I asked her out. I called up Kathy and I said, do you think Mary would go out with me? And she said, I know she would. So she gave me the number, and the way Mary puts it is that I called and said, you wouldn't want to go out with me, would you? I thought I was a little stronger, but she really I had no idea what it was like driving from Whitestone to get 69 on the expressway. If I'd known that, we might not be here today. So I drove out there. I left a lot of time because I didn't know. And I drove my company vehicle out there. And I got there like an hour early. I would sit there and I would just kind of slide my hand over, just under her leg a little bit, and it was just such a reassuring feeling. And that's the part I missed. Well, she had many hospitalizations. 3 days here, 8 days here, the last 2 were 10 days. She would, we spent a year and a half where she'd be averaging 2 pints of blood every month. And even there, we'd go down to the infusion center, the White Plains Hospital. And I'd get her settled in her seat, go downstairs and pour her coffee and a cheese sandwich. And that was our date. And we might go out for lunch afterwards as well. And then go home and collapse. All I wanted to do was to be near her. So, the last few days in the hospital, she was calling. She was in so much pain. She just wanted to leave, leave. And I said, what can I say? She said, she stuck me on the phone, she did it for me. And I'm sure that's true. I said, it's time for you to leave. Do you want to go to hospice? And she said yes. So that decision was made on a Wednesday morning. The hospital wanted us to go to the Bronx from there. And I said, no, I'll just take her home. But she had her mind and her heart set on those grocery ago. She had downloaded the paperwork a year ago. So that's where she wanted to go. She had a priest in her family, a sister in her family. And she's the reason that I'm in church, period. I had lost track of the church. She used to say, I'm going to go to church, and everyone would come. I said, oh, nice. And that was fine, she'd go to church. And then next week she'd say, I'm going to church now. Anyway, she got me there. She got me in choir. She got me to know many of you. Many of you were first my friends through music or whatever, but I always knew you always liked Mary better. She entered the hospice with strength and grace and good humor. She didn't set the record for visitors, but she was up there. Many of you have been there. Many of you have been there, and there's a couple that were there nearly as much as I was. I would go there every day and stay there as long as I could stand it. And, until they would remind me that, hey, it's 8:45, that I just wanted to be there, So many of you came, so many people came, and I found it gratifying that people who met with Mary and loved her enough to come. And again, come more than one time, that was wonderful. On June 10th, I had my last lucid two-way conversation with Mary. I would talk with her. She was in a lot of pain, and Maureen and I did what we could to make sure that the sisters would administer the pain meds. Hopefully before she needed them, just to keep ahead of it. And I would sit there and she would be unconscious or non-conscious. And I knew that she heard me. And I had my opportunities to apologize for all the times I was nasty or mean. Apologize for all the times that I said, that's it, I'm out of here. Although she taught me to say, I'm going out, I'll be back. And that was the biggest difference. She taught me how to function in a relationship with another person. And not just a love relationship, friends and whatever. And I really miss her. I really, really miss her. On the 18th, I got a call at 6
What's the name of the place?
It's right on
Victoria?
Trusting in God, we have prayed together